Hi, this is Jason Doctor, and I'm here to share with you 10 things that you might not know about me. And I put together this little slideshow, and hopefully you'll learn 10 things. So, this is my family. It's not my complete family, but as you can see, they're kind of crazy. There's my wife, Sarah, and my sons, Nico, and I believe that's Theo, pretty sure with his tongue hanging out there. They're always moving. There's not a still moment in my house, and it's always crazy, and it's just something that is a characteristic of my household at this time. That's at the Twins game last spring. This is my favorite photo of my boys, and it was one of those beautiful days when you have to call in sick because the daycare provider is sick. So none of us were sick. So we went out and had just a good time in the sculpture garden. And the Max is in there as well. So Max and Theo are twins if you can't quite figure that out. And we're at the sculpture garden there. That picture is from several years ago, but it is my photo, and I think it captures the personality of all three boys fairly well. This is another member of my family. This is my older sister, Dorothy, and just thought I'd share some. We happened to be at my son's birthday party, which was at Gleason's that summer, and that's my summer haircut. I like to keep it cool in the summer. Halloween is it's probably our favorite holiday in our household. It's a big deal. This is from this past year, and I was a luchador, or you can think of me as Bane, but really I was supposed to be a Mexican wrestler. And those are my boys, and Halloween's big in our neighborhood. Everybody dresses up, and we walk around the neighborhood kind of as a big group of people. And my pockets are bulging a little bit because I got a couple of cans of Pabst hidden in there for the trip. And our neighbors are better at the costuming. Our boys tend to just like to wear black and hide. This is again a Halloween photo. This is my brother-in-law Rob, and they host a Halloween party. And for several years now, he has been wearing the same costume. He goes as a cow, and I go as my dad. And so that's my dad's old suit coat that he would wear around town in Bismarck, North Dakota, and that's pretty much the expression he would often have on his face. So that is not my expression. That is me pretending to be my father, and my father's wearing the pink shirt as well. We love living in the city. We live in Minneapolis. We live over by Matt's Bar. The baker's wife, if you're familiar with that bakery, and it just so happens for the past several years, the Powderhorn 24 has gone right up our alley. If you're not familiar with the Powderhorn 24, it's a 24-hour bike race, and you can race in teams or individually. And this picture is taken at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Eric Anderson, a colleague of mine, and Scott Johnson were both over to help participate in this event, and we just set up lawn chairs, and we had a fire, and we watched bike riders race up the alley for 24 hours. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning, when everybody was about to go home, this gentleman came up the alley toting a keg with his boombox there, playing loud music, and a party broke out we have a pit stop right across from us. So there's a garage right across from my driving pad where everybody has to stop and get their card punched. And so all sorts of action happens right there, and it's just a great summertime event. Nothing much better than that. This again is from last spring. This is the flooding of Minnehaha Creek. And so we're just down near the creek, and we're on the biking path or the walking path. I am not sure which, but you can see that it was completely flooded. We had to take off our shoes and we waded in. And the interesting thing about this particular event is that there were fish swimming around. It flooded that much that the fish actually overflew the bank as well. Hiawatha Golf Course will be unfortunately closed this spring as well, as the recent reports from last spring's damage. My ethnicity is German from Russia, and so we have a tribute here to Lawrence Welk, who was probably one of the most famous Germans from Russia, him and John Denver. If you're not familiar with Germans from Russia, you're wondering why is that a separate ethnicity from German and Russia? Well, it's German, but we lived in Russia so long that we consider ourselves to be a separate ethnic group. This past fall, we put together our first ever Schmeckfest event. We invited a bunch of people over. We served German from Russia food. We listened to German from Russian music, and we even had a German from Russia trivia contest. it was a glorious event. We've taken to road trips with our family. We do enjoy that. Our first road trip was to South Dakota. And on that particular event, we started the tradition of trying to find the 50 state license plates. Last year, we drove to Florida. We went to Sanibel Island, and we made it all the way to Lake City, Florida in one shot. I cannot explain how much I was looking forward to being trapped in the car for 25 hours straight. And that's the actual truth. It was like the one time where my kids are actually not moving constantly. And it gave me 25 hours of just being able to space out and not think about anything. And it was great. It was a much needed break from work and just the winter. But this picture right here is from Northfield, Minnesota, where we found our very last license plate that we needed to find, which was Washington, D.C. Outside of Washington, D.C., that particular license plate is rather hard to find. And then my final picture here is just my three boys. This is from the first day of school this past year. We have Max on the left, Nico in the middle, and Theo on the right. And you'll see that Theo was just a little bit ahead of Max as far as losing his teeth. Max was like 1 week behind, and then he had his two front teeth missing as well. Well, I hope you learned 10 things about myself and my family and what my passions might be, what drives me. And I look forward to looking at all of your materials that you have posted as well and learning 10 things about each of you. All right. Thank you. Bye.